Okay, welcome to video number 1 of graphing trigonometry. In this video I just want to talk about stretch factor and vertical shift, and there will be 2 more videos that talk about horizontal shift and period and frequency. So what I want to do first is I want to very quickly look at the unit circle. So here we go. We've been looking at this for a while, called the unit circle because it has a radius of 1, which means it reaches a maximum height of 1, a minimum height of -1. We'll extend the axes a little bit there. And I'm only putting y values on here because I'm only interested in the value of sine right now. Y equals sine theta. Sine of theta tells me the height of this triangle. So when I graph this, what I notice is that I have a maximum of 1. I got a minimum of -1. Starting right here at 0, I go around the circle up to 1, back down to through 0, down to -1, and back up to 0. And of course then the graph just keeps going because you're going around the circle. So I went up to 1, back down to 0, down to -1, back to 0. Remember, I'm only talking about height here. So this is the graph of y equals sine of theta. So let's add in a stretch factor. Let's add in a stretch factor of 3. When I stretch this circle, what I now have, and drawn to a slightly different scale because I don't want to run out of room, but my circle now has a radius of 3, which means it's going to go up to +3, it's going to go down to -3, and when I draw my triangle, what I know is that this height, because everything is stretched by 3, is 3 times the sine of theta. So when I graph this, what have I got? Well, my maximum is 3. My minimum is -3. My graph still starts at 0, and it goes up to the maximum, back down, down to the minimum, and back to 0, and then keeps going because off around the circle again. And my equation, because I have a stretch of 3 and a stretch of 3, is y equals 3 sine of theta. Notice that my height, my total height, is not 3. I go up 3 and down 3 because my original graph went up 1 and down 1. My total height originally was 2. My total height now is 6. I'm 3 times as big. All right? So the last thing I want to talk about on this particular video is a vertical shift. I'm going to put in a k value. And I'm going to start with the equation y equals 3 sine of theta, same exact stretch factor, but I'm going to put a -2 here. So let me scroll down a little bit on my page, give myself a bit more room, and I'm going to draw my circle. And what I notice is that the middle of my circle moves to -2. Oops, sorry, lost my pen for some reason there. The middle of my circle moves down to -2. The top of my circle moves down to 1. The bottom of my circle has moved down to -5. My circle now looks like this. When I draw my triangle, and let me go ahead and put the central axis of this circle here. There's my angle of rotation. Notice that my y value right here is equal to this whole y value, y equals 3 sine theta, minus this distance here. I'll be right with you. So now when I draw this video, my neighbor just walked in the door because we're going to go for a walk, and that completely threw me off because now then I had to shout to him down the stairs. Anyway, here we go. Just ignore that. I could clip it out, but I'm not gonna. My maximum value is equal to 1. My center, my midline, is equal to -2. My minimum is equal to -5. I'm starting right there at -2. I'm going up to the maximum, down to the minimum, and back up again, ending right there at -2. Of course, keeps going in both directions. And the equation of this graph, y equals 3 sine theta minus 2. So I will talk about h in video number 2. I will talk about period and frequency in video number 3. Check them out if you're confused. Email me if you still have questions. Have a great day.